The dead remembered. The vacuum of space is silent, but Marcus Chang could hear his own heartbeat thundering in his ears as he floated helplessly among the expanding debris field that had once been kept for Mining Station 7. The emergency beacon on his suit flashed red against the darkness, a futile cry for help that would likely go unanswered. He was 40 million kilometers from the nearest inhabited world. With less than 6 hours of life support remaining in his environmental suit, he faced certain death. As Marcus recorded a final log, documenting the quantum anomalies, something impossible occurred. The stars moved. A massive alien vessel materialized, defying physics with its flowing, bioluminescent hull. Beings of ethereal grace rescued him, identifying themselves as Thylorians, an ancient peaceful race devoted to knowledge and life. Healer Morden explained they'd detected his distress and intervened without expectation of reward. During the voyage back to human space, Marcus learned of the Thylorians' philosophies and their millennia of exploration. High Counselor Veltar spoke of humanity's potential and the value of compassion. The Thylorians returned Marcus safely, and his story reshaped humanity's view of alien life. 50 years passed. Marcus, now a revered elder on Earth's Defense Council, watched humanity expand, colonizing the stars and contacting alien species. Then came a message that shook the galaxy. The Thylorians were under attack by the genocidal Zephyrian Empire. Their plea for help cited the long-ago debt of Marcus Chen. The Council debated the risks. The Zephyrians vastly outmatched Earth's forces, yet Marcus's voice reminded them. The Thylorians saved him, not out of duty but because it was right. President Martinez declared, "We decide whether humanity keeps its word." The vote to aid them was unanimous. Earth launched its largest military operation ever. Facing overwhelming odds, humanity turned to innovation. Dr. Vasquez unveiled Death Seeds, high-velocity kinetic weapons capable of bypassing advanced energy defenses. Crude by galactic standards, they were brutally effective. Humanity's unconventional tactics, chaotic formations, repurposed civilian ships, and unpredictable strategies would counter Zephyrian expectations. At the heart of the armada stood Admiral Rodriguez aboard the U.S. Retribution, leading 42 capital ships and hundreds of escorts, supported by makeshift missile platforms. Despite his age, Marcus Chen insisted on joining the mission. He had once been a dying miner saved by alien grace. Now he would stand with those who saved him. As Earth's fleet sailed into the stars, the fate of the Thylorians and the soul of humanity rested on honoring a promise made in the silence of space. Marcus Chen stared at the swirling blue marble of Earth as the fleet prepared to jump into folded space. "Maybe I can help save their world," he said quietly. "Besides, I'm the reason we're here. It's only fitting I see this through." The journey to Thylorian space took 3 tense weeks. The human fleet drilled constantly, perfecting battle plans and maneuvers. Every crew member knew the odds, 300 Zephyrian warships against a mere 42 human vessels, but morale stayed high. Across human space, people remembered the Thylorians' kindness 50 years earlier, when they saved Marcus from certain death in the void. Thousands volunteered, eager to repay the debt. As they neared the Thylorian border, the horror became visible. Systems lay in ruin, planets had been stripped bare, their civilizations obliterated. The Zephyrians were erasing the Thylorians from existence. "Admiral, incoming transmission from the Thylorian refugees," said the comms officer. The screen flickered, revealing High Counselor Veltar, his once radiant skin now dimmed by age and sorrow. "You've grown old, Marcus," Veltar said, his telepathic voice still gentle. "I feared we would never meet again under such circumstances." Marcus stepped forward. "I gave my word. Humanity remembers." Veltar nodded. "But perhaps too late. Our homeworld fell 3 days ago. The libraries of Luminara, knowledge of millennia, gone. Our last ships are cornered in an asteroid belt. The Zephyrians are toying with us, savoring the end." Admiral Sarah Rodriguez appeared beside Marcus. "Counselor, this is Admiral Rodriguez. We're here to ensure the end doesn't come. Send us everything. Fleet positions, ship counts, tactics. The data made the computers issue priority alerts. 300 enemy capital ships, 1,000 escorts. The Thalorian survivors were trapped around a dying star, awaiting extermination. Rodriguez reviewed the battle map. A standard approach would mean annihilation. But she wasn't planning a standard battle. "Initiate Operation Underdog," she ordered. "We're going in!" When word of the human fleet reached War Marshal Krex of the Zephyrian Empire, he was amused. Towering and scarred from decades of conquest, Krex had destroyed 7 species and crushed resistance across the stars. To him, the humans were an irrelevant curiosity. But as scans came in, confusion set in. The human fleet was unlike any Krex had seen. Erratic formations, civilian ships in the mix, hulls shielded against scans. Something was off. "Primitive fools," Krex sneered. "They bring miners to war?" Aboard the UES Retribution, Rodriguez studied the Zephyrian formation, perfect and lethal. "Admiral," said her officer, "we'll be in range in 27 minutes. Tell Veltar to evacuate. Once this starts, it'll be chaos." Marcus, despite his age, stood with Rodriguez. David and Goliath among the stars. Rodriguez smiled grimly. "But this David brought friends, and our slings have very big rocks." She activated. "This is Admiral Rodriguez. We stand today not for glory, but for memory. The Thalorians saved one of ours. Now we save theirs. For Marcus, for the Thalorians, for humanity." 42 ships echoed back in unity. "For humanity!" Krex began the battle with precise, devastating volleys. Beams capable of leveling mountains struck human ships, but they held. Their hulls glowed but remained intact. "Impossible!" Krex snarled. His officers reported adaptive armor, absorbing the hits. The humans had fused Thalorian self-repair tech with human engineering. They couldn't hold forever, but they didn't need to. "Pattern Omega," Rodriguez commanded. "Release the Hounds of War!" Human ships exploded from formation, scattering unpredictably. The disguised civilian ships revealed hidden weapon bays, launching thousands of death seeds, kinetic projectiles moving too fast to intercept. Zephyrian energy shields were useless. 12 enemy ships fell in the opening salvo. Chaos ensued. Human ships darted like predators, striking from unexpected vectors. They used swarm tactics, their small craft acting as hunters, while the dreadnoughts supported from afar. Krex shouted commands, but discipline collapsed. His fleets had never faced such irregular warfare. Then, Rodriguez gave the signal. "Target their flagship. Bring out the World Breakers." 3 massive kinetic projectiles launched, warping space with their sheer velocity. The first hit Eternal Dominion's command deck, the second cracked its spine. The third never hit, but it wasn't needed. Krex and his command staff died in fire. Demoralized, the Zephyrian fleet disintegrated. Some captains fled, others died in panic. The humans pressed the advantage. Within 6 hours, the Zephyrians had lost 2/3 of their strength. Rodriguez opened a channel. "Veltar, the path is clear. Get them out." Marcus gripped the railing. "We're winning." "Yes," Rodriguez said, "because they underestimated Deathworlders." 17 human ships were lost. Over 3,000 lives, but the mission succeeded. The Thalorians escaped, their knowledge and people preserved. Veltar's final message was simple. The debt is repaid, but more than that, you've reminded the galaxy that there is still morality in the stars. 6 months later, Rodriguez stood before Earth's leaders. "The cost was high," she said, "but 17 civilizations have since sought alliance. The galaxy has noticed. We protect those in need." President Martinez asked, "What was the cost?" Rodriguez answered, "They died so another species could live." Marcus, now 77, stood in the gallery. "I was a young man, alone in space. Strangers saved me. Today they are alive because we remembered. We honored our word, and I believe our dead would say it was worth it." His voice rang out. "The galaxy watches. Some will seek our aid, some will fear us, but all will know humanity keeps its promises." Applause thundered for 15 minutes. Across Earth the tale spread like fire. In the aftermath, Earth was recognized as a galactic power. Former enemies sought friendship, and the Zephyrian Empire, once thought invincible, collapsed under rebellion. Admiral Mitchell led a new galactic protection fleet. Dr. Vasquez worked with Thalorians to develop peace-oriented technologies. Marcus Chen lived to 90, Earth's ambassador to the Thalorian colonies. His funeral was attended by representatives from 43 species. High Counselor Veltar founded the Marcus Chen Institute, a symbol of hope, memory, and moral courage. A reminder that kindness repaid can save entire civilizations. Admiral Rodriguez retired after 10 years of service, but not before overseeing the establishment of rapid response fleets positioned throughout known space. These forces, nicknamed Chen's Angels by their crews, were tasked with one mission: ensuring that any species facing extinction would have help arriving within 72 hours of their distress call. The Death Sea technology was never used in anger again. The mere knowledge of its existence and humanity's willingness to deploy it against aggressors proved sufficient deterrent against most potential conflicts. The few species that tested human resolve quickly learned why challenging Earth's protectorates was considered suicide by the galactic intelligence community. 25 years after the Battle of the Thalorian Exodus community. 25 years after the Battle of the Thalorian Exodus, a statue was erected in the center of Geneva's United Nations Plaza. It depicted a human figure reaching out to help another beam to his feet, with an inscription that read, "A favor was owed. Humanity paid it back with fire and fury, and changed the galaxy forever." But perhaps the most fitting memorial was not built of stone or metal. In the deep space between stars, where Marcus Chen had once floated alone waiting to die, a permanent navigation beacon was established. Ships of every species passing through that region of space would receive an automated message that told the story of a young human miner, the aliens who saved him, and the death that transformed the galaxy. The message always ended with the same words: "Remember that kindness creates debts that span decades and species. Honor your debts, protect the innocent, and never leave anyone to die alone in the darkness." A favor had been owed, and when the time came to repay it, humanity had shown the universe exactly what it meant to have Earth as an ally. The debt was settled, but the legend would endure forever, inspiring countless acts of courage and compassion among the stars. The galaxy was indeed a dangerous place, filled with predators and empires that sought to dominate the weak. But it had also become a place where the innocent could call for help, and know that someone would answer, where the strong protected the vulnerable, and where no civilization would ever again face extinction alone. Humanity had kept its promise, and in doing so had made the universe a little brighter, a little safer, and a little